Hello everyone, welcome to What If Issei Was Betrayed Faked His Death and Becomes Dragon God of Domination Part 2. Before we start, please go support AlexBlackdj in the black for writing that awesome fanfic. Now let's begin. This is the translated version I made. There will be some wrong he or she calling here because it's translated, so let me clear this. Issei is a male in this story. Chapter 7 Heart Never Seals. Issei had found the disgusting ones in her current memories. He had rejected the proposal and helped the girl Yuri, whose hope was foaming. After this, the girl ran away crying, and Riaz and Akeno went after her. Currently I am at the exit since it is departure time. Walking towards my house. Drag. You're fine mate, worried about his friend and mate. Issei. I'm fine Drag, right now we're going to train for the rest of the day. Drag. I agree mate. Issei. Hey Drag, don't you think I'm a disgusting person? Seeing his left hand flashing a green light. Drag. Yes, I'm a disgusting dragon now that I just need to find you with Tiamat or your sister's Sirius. Issei. I thought so, I must bring out something inside me that torments Sirius. Drag. You mean the curse that you are repressing so much, you are killing your heart with the poison Sirius. Issei. Well, when we arrive, I will put the magic circle on to get rid of the negative feelings Sirius. Drag. Remember, it will be a lot of pain, since we are dragon gods, I should endure more of the pain. I can't assure you of that. Issei. I see. When I got home, I prepared a magic circle where in the basement. Then I proceeded to use 20 boost. Drag. Partner, you will be able to feel the pain for 2 hours, since before we arrived in this world you had more than one partner and that further advanced the disease. But now it is no longer advancing, you just have to remove what remains some. Issei. Thank you Drag, I'll get out of this smile. I will be myself again. Issei entered the magic circle where he began to shine, where Issei felt how his heart was torn and blood began to flow from his body. A scream of pain began throughout the house. Before entering, I used noise cancelling so that the neighbors do not suspect. While in the streets. The girl in Agatha clothing, she was walking in the dark night looking for something that caught her attention. The office is one of the 2 dragon gods, the dragon of infinity Ouroboros. The office. I have already been looking for something that caught my attention. In the human world, when I received something without emotion. She has already walked, even stood, seeing in a house, felt something that is in danger. She decided to leave. Since she knew well the dragon's fall. When he saw a small windows under the basement. When he looked at it, he was surprised by the large amount of blood. Issei had finished the ritual, he fell to the ground unconscious. The office broke the barrier, entered to see who he was and his power of the dragon. The office. But what happened would it be? Drag. Office, surprised. Office. What happened Drag, don't even tell me anything, I already know the fall that its carrier had it would be. Carrying to the bed where they sleep. Office, there is something I want you to tell me. Watching the boosted gears. Drag. What's wrong Office? I'm scared. Office. Why does he have my power would? Drag. I would try to evade but decided on a small excuse, my partner and I didn't know the power we have. Office looking at the boosted gears not very convinced, but she decided to hug Issei's arm. Drag. What are you doing Office? Seeing Office. Office. I'll stay and take care of him because he belongs to me. If he has my power, that makes us connected. Smile. Drag widened his eyes. Office. Apparently he is half demon and half dragon and human. Surprised. Drag. Hahaha, he is my strongest carrier, he is Lucifer descendants and half human. He makes him become my carrier pride. Office. I see, it's the first time I've seen a demi-human like that. Drag. What are you going to do with my partner Sirius? Office. Wow, you're lucky, I was looking for an ally to get my home back, he meets my expectations. I'll join him to the Cows Brigade. Drag is surprised and thinks I have become a criminal again. Intrigued. Office. Like a criminal, maybe something happened, tell me curious. Drag. Bucking Motherbicker, what the buck did I talk annoyed? I explain how the organization began and going further to the mafia and how those knights and the lost ones happened. We withdraw since it brings a lot of problems that already has me and my partner annoyed. Office. I see, welcome and smile. Drag. I'll go in, but first I'll talk to my partner Sirius. Office. Well, I'm leaving disappearing. Drag. Wow, this is the first time Office has shown concern about him. The next day. Issei had woken up and felt with a lot of energy. Issei. What happened Drag, I feel stronger. Confused. Drag. Partner, there is no more feelings that kill you, now you are half dragon and half original demon. Smile. Issei. I see, I'm going to the academy. Changing and going to the academy. When he arrived, he sat down in his respective chair. Issei. Wow, this day is going to be a troublesome one. Serious. Watching in the window reassuring. Issei good up a dragon burlon. Greg. Shut up, it's embarrassing annoying he said in his mind. Example of the image. Issei had taken out his homework to check it. In recess. Issei had stayed in the living room, waiting for everyone to come out. But that blonde girl and the two Hyodo sisters. Note. Me for idiot, Asia Argento has already been rescued by Ryo. Greg. Partner we have to talk he said in his mind. Issei. Good Drag, what do you want to talk to me leaving the room towards the cafeteria? Drag after you did the ritual eliminating traces of the poison from your heart. Office has seen you. Issei. Office, surprised. Drag. Hi boo, I take care of you and I had to explain it. He proposed to us to enter the Cows Brigade of the office forces. If you would like to enter. I do give. Issei thought about it for 2 minutes. I think I will accept the proposal smile. At least I will do something to prevent the release of Trihexa from this world serious. Greg. Well mate, I'm going to sleep right now, don't you dare take my little sister out serious. Issei. Yes, whatever you say sarcasm. Already in the cafeteria. Issei had taken his respective lunch while he ate and thought about what to do. Issei. If I'm going to live in this world I should have. But he was interrupted by the red-haired girls, Ria's Gremory. Image example. That surprised all the boys and the same as the girls, Yuma, Valerie, Zaim and Yuli and Ryo, who was surprised how his girlfriend hit the boy she didn't know. Issei. What's wrong Gremory angry. Well he played the red cheeks. Ria's. What's wrong with me? Could it be that what's wrong with you? Talking ugly to my sister Yuri annoying. Issei. It's because it's the truth serious. Ria's. Maybe, stupid. He was asking you for help but you rejected him and made him cry. Making everyone shocked and looking at Issei the wrong way. Issei. It's because I don't know him, you know I don't help a stranger without emotion. Ria's. You will be slapped but Issei's hand was grabbed. Issei. If you dare to hit me again, I swear seeing Ria's Malakara. Ria's. What it would be. Issei. I will kill you, if necessary whisper so that no one can hear it. Ria's blood ran cold and she began to retreat. Ria's. For less, talk to her and apologize retreating while Ryo approached Ria's. Issei. Aha yes, women will always be hypocritical and treacherous annoying. He is heard by Zaim and Yuli and also Yuma and Valerie who are surprised. Issei had retired, where the cafeteria. He had withdrawn until a moment he remembered. That Redeed whose name was Yuri. Issei. What sense to go and apologize serious. Greg. You feel good mate. Issei. I'm fine, dude. I think I'm a disgusting person when it comes to a couple. Greg. I understand, I recommend that you talk to her. Issei. Okay serious. While she was heading to find where Yuri. She was eating in the shadow of the tree and sad. Issei for the first time felt sorry for her. Since it's a Gremory, I don't know it's about Ria's. I tease about them. Issei decided not to disturb Yuri. Greg. Seriously, you're not going to help seeing the carrier of her. Issei. It doesn't suit me, now the boys and girls look at me badly. Annoyed. Greg. Well mate, after what we will do after the meeting with office. Issei. I'm going to look for Ingvild Leviathan. While he walked to his living room. Greg. The girl who helped you to comfort your heart after faking your death surprised. Issei. Yes, it hurts me that Ingvild is alone in my world and I want to find her serious she said in her mind. Greg. Very good partner, after we leave your school. Let's go where we'll look for it serious. Issei. Ingvild's favorite places, blushing. Greg. Haha, okay smiling. Issei. I'm not the only Drake Burlon. Greg. What do you mean confused? Issei. I realize that your sister Scarlet is in love with you. But Empress Blanca Alma is too. Greg had fainted because of that response. Issei. Well, Northerner smile. Issei was laughing without anyone seeing him. Chapter 8 Ingvild Leviathan. Clarification. Well since Valentine's Day is approaching. I decided to do something special as Ingvild. I hope you enjoy them. Issei left school, he decided to leave things at home, he decided to use her red armor. The first thing he looked for was in the park where he killed him for Rainer. In the park. Issei. What a memory, seeing the surroundings of the park while he was sitting on the water bridge. She felt how his heart began to accelerate. When he heard footsteps, Issei decided to hide in the bush and hide his power. Until I finally found you, Issei said in his mind. Ingvild is a beautiful young woman with long purple hair and orange eyes, with her appearance in her late teens and a noble white dress. Ingvild they began to sing How Wonderful Issei under the mask. It's been a few minutes since Ingvild stopped singing. Until Issei got scared. Ingvild. Get out of there, I know you're hiding, she said a serious voice. Issei. Yeah, well the bush with its armor came out. Ingvild. Sekurute sama, what a surprise to find you here, a little nervous. Issei. Well, it's a coincidence that we found ourselves here in the same park. Since I heard your singing. Quiet and blushing voice. Ingvild. Blushing. What's your name? Stutters. Issei. Well, my name is Issei. Lucifer taking off his helmet. Ingvild had blushed while her heart beat 1,000 times. Ingvild, what a sensation, blushing. You're Lucifer, descendant surprised. How does the boosted gears have? Issei. If I am a descendant of Lucifer, how I have the boosted gears is thanks to the human blood that was my mother's sad. Ingvild. I see, my name is Ingvild Leviathan, I am also half human, sad and happy. Issei. Well, it's a pleasure to talk to you, giving a smile. Balai was about to withdraw, but she felt how she grabbed her hand. Ingvild. I could go with you, since I don't know where to stay, blushing and embarrassed. Issei. If you want, you can come to my house, no problem. Ingvild. Seriously, thank you, Issei-kun, happy. Issei. Hold on, Issei, you have to hold on to not kiss her and make her mine. Activating a magic circle where she would both retreat. While she arrived at her house. Inside the house. Room. Issei. Good, we're here, smile. Ingvild. What a nice house, that has Issei-kun happy. Issei. Well, you can choose a room for yourself. Happy. Ingvild. Thank you, I'm going to get some sleep, retiring. Issei. Yes, may my princess have a dream, whisper. Ingvild had heard it and her heart palpitated. This feeling, blushing. Let's go with Issei. Greg. Ha ha ha. Mate, well done, I'm proud of you, Burlon. Issei. Remember, you can now get the boosted gears when I create your body, thanks to the great red meat. You have to be grateful, annoying. Greg. I had forgotten, now I'm leaving. A green light was shining. The little red dragon with golden scales comes out. Greg. Now yes, bastards, who came your daddy pride. But hey, buddy, you must be joking. I'm not in my original form, he said, very upset. Issei. Ha ha ha, you look like a puppy, well you can change your chibi form to original Burlon. You have to ask me for permission since it is in its original form. If you try, you won't be able to do it. Greg knew, crying. Then 1 month has passed. Issei met Ingvild from this world. Making best friends and intimates. Everyone has their taste and problem. Issei had to tell her the whole truth, that another world other than Ingvild is coming, that she got angry because of the Gremory clan, and sad that Issei resorted to faking her death in her original world. Ingvild. I see what a hard life has happened to you, sad, while she was approaching Issei. Issei. Well, we'll stay friends, seeing Ingvild. Ingvild. More than friend and intimate, flirty. Issei blushes. 1 week. Issei and Ingvild began training and awakening. His sacred gear is considered a longinus that can control dragons and the sea. Despite his inexperience under mental control, he was able to control thanks to Issei and Drake Chibi. She fell in love with Issei shortly after meeting him because of his kindness, chivalrousness, and her big dream. Great demonic power. As a descendant of Leviathan, she must possess great demonic power and the abilities of this, her blood gave her resistances. Enhanced abilities. She has gained enhanced strength, speed, and stamina. Expert magic. Improves your magical abilities. Flight. She can fly with her 8 wings. Just like Issei. Issei. Well, we finish your training. Giving a smile to Ingvild. Ingvild. Haha, thank you for your help and leave me at your house happy. Issei began to feel a strange sensation of being watched. She looked from her to Ingvild and sure enough. Ingvild was staring at her lips. Ingvild, I want to kiss you, said in her mind. Apili Cafe only asked her why she was looking at him so much. He got no response, only a warm kiss from the silver-haired who sat on the older man's watering hole. Issei was surprised, but for some reason she liked that contact, so she slowly reciprocated and grabbed the girl's waists. That kiss went from being tender to one full of lust and romanticism. When they both ran out of air as they separated from each other, the only thing that united them besides their physical contact was a sharp thread of drool that hung from their lips. They both looked at each other, surprised by that act. They separated, and each one went to her room. Both decided not to talk about it again, and to this day they don't. Although deep down, every time you look at the other, you want to taste their lips. Issei and Ingvild became friends and close. Repeating his kisses until the day came. Issei decided to invite a date and declare himself to her feelings. Taking a very special place for Ingvild. Ingvild. Tell me, Issei-kun, what do you want to talk to me about? Smile. Issei. I'll be honest with you. There's something else I've wanted to tell you for a long time, and that for me is the most beautiful star in the sky. My favorite part of the day is when I talk to you. It's just that I like it. I don't know the exact moment it happened, but it happened. I like it too much, and every day passes the only thing I do is think about you and all the beautiful person you are. I would tell you that you are more beautiful, but several men have already told you that. That is why I prefer to tell you that you are intelligent, that you have a smile that infects me with joy, that I love it and the aroma it gives off, that I admire your ability to face adversity. I admire the nobility that is in your heart, and above all the things, what I admired is your honesty, your ability to give yourself, to be faithful. I tell you all this, why call you beautiful, it would be so little for a woman like you. Ingvild had been surprised by Issei's words that had never been said by anyone. Issei. Tell me, would you like to be my partner and future wife? Smiling. Ingvild brought out some tears, but not of sadness, but of joy. She was waiting for the moment she longed for so much. Ingvild. I accept, crying with joy with a big smile. Issei felt like her heart started beating after so many years. Both young people approached. On your lips. Imagine Issei with Ingvild. Inside the boosted gears. Greg. Sniff sniff sniff, I have never seen anything beautiful. Sniff sniff. I will never forget that most beautiful event in life. Starting to cry. Boia Drake scream. I will never have a couple like this. Boia. After days. Issei and Ingvild have become very close since that declaration. Over 1 years later. Original world. Riaz and entourage had found Issei lying lifeless on the ground. Everyone started to cry and scream. All. Issei. Riaz sniff sniff, what have I done? Looking at his lifeless lover. I should have been with him. I am stupid and foolish. Crying. Akeno lost the shine in his eyes, he started to cry too. What have we done? Maybe this is karma. Sobbing. Asia had fainted and some tears came out. Haneko started crying like a girl without saying a word. Zenobia began to remember the moment she spent with Issei. I'm stupid, said Zenobia, some tears starting to come out. Irina is most affected. Irina felt like her heart was breaking. Seeing her childhood friend and her beloved are lifeless. What have I done? What have I done? Crying while she covered her eyes. Ross was she only felt bad and some tears, yes, saying nothing with her look down. Tiba was crying and looking for the intruders since he saw Issei pierce his heart with a sword. Asper cried to his master and friend. He decided to call Sona since Riaz is crying without taking off. While other side. Sona was with the vice president together with her entire entourage. Sona had received a call that at this moment I accept the call. Sona. Tell me who he liked to talk to. Quiet until she stopped doing her paperwork. Asper. Sniff sniff. Kaichu, they killed Issei, they killed him. Stutter. Sona. Like they killed him. Surprised. Making his entourage alert. Aspers. It's Issei, they killed him when we got home. Sona. It can't be, I have to tell my sister. They cut off the calls. Tsubaki. What happened? Kaichu, would it be? Pay attention to the words of your king. Sona. It's Issei. Shock. Tsubaki. What's wrong with him? Sino raised. Sona. They killed him when the girls arrived at the house. Tsubaki and the rest were surprised. Sona decided to call his sister, a magic circle. Serafal. Hello Sotan, it's nice to call me happy. Sona 1-san, first of all, I want you to listen to me. It's something vitally important. Serafal, what is it? Would it be? Sona. Someone killed Issei, the current seeker. Yuite holding back tears. Serafal. What, surprised? You're not kidding. Sona. I'm not kidding, Gasper, Riaz Bishop, my name is. It's no joke. Better tell Searches, quickly cutting the call. Sona. Leave me alone, making his entourage leave. Tsubaki. What's wrong? Kaichu worried. But she was surprised to see that he is shedding some tears. Sona. Sniff sniff, well, he covered his mouth. Tsubaki reached out to comfort her best friend. The living room was in Sona's tears. His entourage listened to him and got worried. But Sona's order. He couldn't do anything. Tsubaki. What happened? Sona-chan worried. Sona. They killed me. Sniff sniff. They killed the one I was in love with. Sniff sniff, crying. Tsubaki. You mean Issei? Surprised. Sona. That's right, they killed him. Tsubaki gave Sona a hug that worried her. Let's go with Serafal. Serafal had received very shocking news about who murdered Pilar of the Alliance. Without wasting time, she headed to the Lucifer mansion where Searches and Grafia lived. While he shed some tears. When she kicked the door open. Where will Cephal? Searches. What's wrong? Serafal, surprised by Grafia. Serafal. They killed him, holding back tears. Searches. Who killed them? Serious. Serafal. Issei-chan was murdered. Tears. Searches. What, surprised? Serafal. We better go to the human world, you found it. Grafia made a magic circle, teleported to the human world. Searches, Serafal and Grafia had arrived at the Hyoto residence in the living room. The3 were surprised to see that everyone was torn and scratched. While he had arrived, he saw Arias in Issei's arms lifeless. Searches. What happened? Riaz so seeing Issei lifeless. Riaz. They killed him, crying without leaving her arms. Searches. You better get out of here, let's investigate who. It was serious. Arias. Please, I don't want to separate from him. Searches knocked him out, leaving Arias unconscious. Searches. Grafia, take it to everyone in the Gremory mansion and tell your parents. Since something is vitally important, serious and sad. Grafia carried Riaz and gathered all of his entourage carrying in a magic circle. Serafal entered Issei's room. Serafal. Tell me, Searches, tell me it's not true that Issei has died, holding back some tears, feeling bad. Searches. I'm sorry, Serafal, we can't do anything, sad and frustrated not to find some clues. Not only Issei, but also the Red Emperor Dragon. Serafal started to cry, falling with his leg to the ground. I couldn't confess my feelings. Search's auntie had found out that Serafal had fallen in love with the chestnut. He was going to confess to auntie, but work as mass did not allow it. Searches. Don't worry, we will look for the person responsible and you will kill them yourself, encouraging his friend. Serafal. He didn't say anything, nod. It's been hours. The leaders decided to hold an immediate meeting. To know what to make a decision. The leaders are sitting in their respective chairs. The Sky faction. There is Michael, current leader of Heaven, together with Gabriel, who is under the head, and Irina lost the shine in her eyes. The Fallen faction. The leader is Azazel along with Penemu, his secretary, who is saddened by the death of her lover Issei. Next to him is Barakiel and Shemazai. The Demon faction. Searches, Serafal, Ajuka and Amadhius. Together with Clan Gremory and Citri Phoenix. Together the Yakai, Vampiro, Olympian and other factions. Michael broke the silence to decide what to do in the future. Michael. We found out that they killed the pillar of the Alliance, Sirius. Isaka. We demand who killed him, sad. Auden. You better calm down, shouting won't achieve anything, and we will be behind who is responsible for the murder of my friend and pillar of the Alliance, Sirius and sad. Searches. Kiba and Gasper, can you tell us what happened, seeing both? Kiba. When I and Gasper walked ahead, leaving behind the girls who only spoke pure lovebirds about other boys, annoying. Azazel. How do other guys go, seeing Riaz and the rest of the girls? Gasper. Riaz senpai and the rest cheated on Issei behind her back. I don't know if Issei himself had found out, sad. Both Searches and the rest of Mass were disappointed in the Gremory clan. But Searches is very angry and decided to talk to Riaz later. The Menhold. What will happen to the Alliance, seeing Searches? It would be. Searches. We will continue in this alliance, we will search for the murderer who killed Issei. It's an eye for an eye, Sirius. Isaka. I hope you find the person responsible, otherwise I will withdraw from the alliance, Sirius and annoying. Azazel. For my part, I will send my troops to investigate the surroundings of Kuo City, Sirius. Searches. I also do my part, Sirius. Michael. Me too, I'll see what I can look for the new Seeker Uete. Azazel. That will no longer be possible, seeing Michael. Michael and Gabriel. I was very confused. From the words of his ex-brother. Gabriel. What do you mean it would be and sad? Azazel. Searches sent me a part of the boosted gears that Drag Soul is no longer there. Possibly it also has. Dead along with his partner, sad and frustrated. Michael. I see, we only have Hacker Yuku, tell me how the current rival will take him seriously. Azazel. He has woken up, right now he is at rest. Michael. That makes me happy. Searches. Well, we have concluded this meeting to inform you if there is anything about the whereabouts of the murderer, we will contact you, seeing the other leaders of the faction who nodded. While the rest was removed in a magic circle or others left the door. Searches. Riaz, we have to talk, he said seriously without looking at her face. Riaz. What is one Sama nervous attitude of his brother? Searches stood up and slapped Riaz, who fell to the ground. Riaz. Ouch, why is that one Sama watching sadly? Searches. Don't talk to me as one Sama anymore, but as Lucifer, he said very furiously. How could you fool Issei, tell me how, he said annoyed. Riaz. Me, he said trying to form some words. Searches. Our parents didn't teach you how to sleep with anyone angry. You are left disinherited and banished from the underworld along with your clan, except Kiba and Gasper, looking at Riaz. Riaz couldn't hold back her tears and ran away. He was seen by the three Mass. Except Serafal, who was still crying. Half a month has passed. Riaz and the rest was banished to Underworld, Asgard and Heaven by Arena. The other factions did their part, from sending troops to everyone until they found under the bed. The Hyodo parents cried for his only son and angered the other girls who loved and betrayed Issei. Plus Mickey could finally have a daughter. And what happened to his eldest son will never happen again. Mickey. How could they betrayed, making the Gremory girls angry? Riaz. Let me explain to you, trying to speak but was interrupted. Mickey. Don't talk anymore, I already know it's the Red Emperor Dragon and whoever killed it. Thank you, it's Searches who told me that he promised us to look for the murderer of my son Furious. Boru. At this very moment he is leaving this house furious. Riaz and the others had no option to leave their house and get an apartment with extra money. Afterwards there was a ceremony where he would say goodbye to his hero from the factions that defeated the Red Emperor Dragon. I was gathered together with all the supernatural beings and all the dragons. They also honored the statue of their hero of the current Seeker Yuete. The one in front was none other than Vali Lucifer. Vali. I can't believe he died sad. Albion not spoken lately, that worries Vali, since they are friends. Flashback. Month before. Vali had woken up since the Citri hospital stretcher. Vali. Where am I? We defeated the Trihexa confused. Finally wake up. Comrade, after so long, finally wake up Allegra. Vali. Albion, he knows what happened tired and couldn't move. Albion. We have defeated the Trihexa and the world is at peace. The Seeker Yuete is now awake, but the strange thing is that he hasn't visited lately confused. What he doesn't know, he or she wants to see Drake, for so long he wants to confess and create the new body for Big Red Meat. Vali. Heh, I see looking at the ceiling. Doctor. Wow, you have woken up the current hacker Yuku, you have visitors smile and sad. Vali. You know why you have your attitude serious and still without moving. Doctor. Will he say it leaving while an acquaintance arrived. Azazel. Hello Vali seeing his considered a son. Vali. Azazel seeing the leader of the fallen. Azazel. Do you know how many months you were in a coma smile and sad that I notice it. Vali. Do you know what happened during my absence he said seriously. Azazel. The Rohos or rather Issei had already woken up. After 3 months. He was the first to wake up. The bad thing is that the girls tricked him behind his back and that caused him to have the dragon fall, but thanks to her the curse stopped. Until now he is only waiting to activate it or remove it during the ritual. Vali. Damn, I can't imagine how much he suffered, he knows who helped him retain seeing Azazel. Azazel. It was Ingval the Leviathan descendants and other girls too smile, but became sad. Vali. If so, why don't you visit me a bad feeling. Azazel. After 3 months, he has been killed we don't know who he was, but it is possible that he may be survivors of the Cow's Brigade, but nothing proves. Making Vali shocked, hey wait Issei wasn't able to die easily serious, trying it was a joke. Azazel, I'm sorry Vali. He didn't die easily, we saw his house destroyed, and he was pierced by an unknown dragon slayer sword sad. Vali was speechless. Until a voice I knew. Albion. Tell me, what happened to Drake she said worried. Vali and Azazel missed the question, but he answered it himself. Azazel. Drake has also died, it seems like he was pierced. It can also affect the Longinus. He makes the Albion. He was speechless. Until now he is in a silent environment. Vali. Friend, are you okay worried? Sniff sniff. Vali. What, you're crying listening to sobbing. Azazel was surprised, don't tell me that seeing a bright blue light. Albion. I am a female voice still sobbing. Azazel was shocked and Vali was surprised and even knowing the answer. Vali. I can't believe it's shock. Azazel sighed. I'm sorry this is what he calls you seeing a blue light. Sniff sniff, my name is Alma the Vanishing Dragon, one of the 2 celestial dragons sad. Vali. Because you didn't tell me still surprised. Alma to show that I am stronger and care about me to Drake said. Azazel. You fell in love with the Red Emperor Dragon. Drake when he is alive seeing the Empress. Alma. That's right, if he's not here anymore, I don't know what to do crying. Vali. Better rest, take your time worried to her friend. Making the blue light on the right hand disappear. Azazel. Damn, so much so that they crossed us in the middle of the war between the factions. He did it for love surprised and some guilt. Vali. Come on Azazel, don't blame yourself, nobody knows who here really was seeing fallen. Azazel. Well, I already retired. Rest for a month and you'll be able to get out of this smiling. Vali. Thank you happy. Then flashback. Vali. I will take care of killing the guy who did this to you my rival and my brother angry and determined. Are you ready Alma said very seriously. Soul. I'm ready, partner serious and sad. Vali. Good, this is eye for an eye while removing the statue of the hero of the faction. Pap. 9 a day with Drake Gotch. It's been 1 full month that my partner and his girlfriend Ingvald had spent together. I decided to spend time with myself. I had gone out of the boosted gears for a moment since my partner was sleeping with his partner. Well, it wouldn't be bad at all to go out there for a moment. Since I've lost count of how many thousands of years have passed, Drake said with a drop of sweat. Before leaving, I decided to use my invisibility spell to go unnoticed and hide from the human world. Since it would not be normal for a dragon to appear walking normally XD. Drake was walking for a while, long paths of the dark streets. He asked me, when will I have a female who loves me? He said with a pain in his heart. I have watched anime, movies and series. Action and sometimes romance to have experience. I have been depressed for a while, but I'm over it, said Drake in a sad and serious voice. While he was walking, he had felt a dragon aura. Drake was seeing where that aura came from. Until he found the origin of the aura. Drake. Seriously, while looking up saying dragon bar. Drake entered the bar and was shocked. There were many women and they have different auras. Fallen, demon and dragons and Valkyrie. He decided to walk over and take a seat while he saw a dragon on his stage. Drake. Damn, I didn't think this place would be very sacred and paradise. While he looked around. Even a woman approached, seeing the chibi dragon. Maids. How can I serve you, Lord Dragon, seeing DTRAIG. Well, bring me a golden apple, said a calm tone. Maids. I'll bring them to you right away. While he was waiting for his drink to arrive. I hope my partner doesn't wake up and realize I'm not in boosted gears, he said scared. Well, the truth is, this place isn't bad at all for men with big breasts who don't have a girlfriend, he said with pride. So you don't have a girlfriend, said a female voice that Drake realized and turned around. Drake. This one, what's your name, seeing the girl very surprised. Oh, my manners are lacking, you call me Lucy Heartfilia, I'm a dragon. My name is Drake Gotch, I am the Red Dragon Emperor. One of the two celestial dragons, said a proud voice. Lucy had been surprised and had sat next to DTRAIG. Lucy. No, they had sealed you, looking confused. Drake. Well, I broke the seal and my partner created my new body, with his powers happy. Lucy. Wow, I'm glad, seeing the red dragon. Drake was amazed by the beauty of that dragon, who was dressed as a rabbit. Drake. By the way, what are you doing here, curious? Lucy. Well, I work here, 1 week, I don't think I dance on stage, she said sarcasm. Not only that, Drake said very sadly. Lucy. How kawaii. Making him hug Drake tightly, that he would feel the blonde-haired girl's breasts. It's different than the female who looks for strong males, but she hugs me as if nothing, Drake said in his mind. Drake. Why are you hugging me? If you are looking for a female, you are looking for strong males to delay a fight, watching the girl very intrigued. Lucy. Hehe, you already realized, well, I'm different since I like to live a peaceful life, smiling. Drake. I see, seeing the blonde. Lucy. I thought you would have the White Empress as your partner. Drake. It's because he tries to delay me, since he has interest in me, I had to reject many times, until he started attacking me because of the rivalry, he said tired. Lucy. I see. Well, the maid left a drink of the golden apple. Lucy. Can you bring it for me, seeing her partner, making her nod. Drake. Hahaha, I think I like you, smile. Lucy. Tell me, I would like to have the drinks together, the maid left another drink. Drake. Of course, why not, smiling, making it have a human form. Making Lucy blush, I see, fufu, said Lucy very excited. Drake. Let's go, toast, smiling. Lucy. Toast. Both dragons drank the golden apples, that's right, they spent minutes drinking the dragons' drinks, making them get drunk. Until they left the bar later. Without realizing it, Lucy had triggered the hormones that she would try to grape Drake. Seeing a predatory woman that made Drake nervous. Well, it wouldn't be bad at all if I lose my chastity with a woman, Drake said lustfully. Seeing the blonde-haired girl very excited, he decided to walk to a hotel. This is my friend, the Red Emperor Dragon would no longer be a Prince Chastity. While other sides. We see in the underworld in the familiar forest. Tiamat had awakened her long dreams after being knocked out. Tiamat. Because I feel like she had lost something important, serious. I decided to get up and transform into human form. Tiamat. I'm going to kill you, damn lizard, said a murderous and annoying voice. Well, I saw the red sky. While at the Hyodo residence. Yuli was asleep in his respective bed, but inside the sacred gears. Scarlet was talking to her carrier Yuli. Yuli. Well, you'll tell me what's happening to you, she said, a little scared to her friend that she was very angry. Scarlet. How can I calm down? I felt like I had lost something very important, she said, very angry. Scarlet appearance. Yuli. I'm almost scared by the scream of her friend and companion. Well, I'll leave you alone, she said a little nervously and disappeared into mental space. Scarlet. Drake, she said, screaming. The next day. We see our red dragon awakening and he gets nervous since it's daylight. Drake. Damn, I think I slept too late. Well, he was putting his clothes on and notices a small letter, he decides to read. Hello, my Red Emperor Dragon, I hope we meet again, very soon. I will leave you my number. Yo, you made me feel like a queen and a beast. A lip kiss found below. Drake had blushed and decided to transform back into his dragon form and activated his magic circle. When he arrived, he had seen Issei together with Ingvild Leviathan, the current bride. Issei. Hey Drake, where have you been, she said calmly. Ingvild. Good morning, Drake-sama. Greg. Good morning, hey, I was left solving some issues, she said, a little nervous. Issei. I see, she said simply. Ingvald. I'll go shopping at the supermarket, giving a smile. Issei. Of course, she said happily. Hours later. There were no classes today, so he decided to walk for a while with Drag in the boosted gears. Issei. Tell me, where did you go, he said curiously. Drag. Well mate, I went to the dragon bar where there was an unknown presence. Why, it was the bar of the supernatural. Issei. I see, I never heard the place when we were in our world. Drag. Okay mate, but what? He said surprised. Issei stood guard as he looked ahead. Wow, what do we have here, he said with false arrogance. Issei. What are you doing, Hacker Yuiku here, he said seriously. He was watching the two girls. One is the black-haired girl who knew Issei well and was surprised that she looked like his rival in his old world. Issei. Vali, he said seriously. My name is Valerie, no Vali, Indian, she said annoyed. My name is Yuma Amano, daughter of Azazel, leader of the fallen angels, she said calmly, making Issei look surprised. Issei, it is impossible for Rainer or Yuma to love the bastard's daughter. What are you coming for, he said seriously. Valerie. Because I came who I really am, carrier of the Welsh dragon, she said excitedly. Issei. Damn if this is going to get complicated, she said in her mind. Chapter 10. Break Commitment Part 1. We see our protagonist in front of the White Bearer and the governor's daughter of the fallen angels. Issei. What do you want from me, he said seriously. Valeria. Haha, I was watching you from afar, and tell me what you are hiding, she said seriously while walking in a circle, as if hoping that his prey would not escape. Issei. Yes, as you say, he said it simply. That made the white-haired boy upset. Valeria. Leave your arrogance because you know you will lose, something she said angrily, changing a smile. Issei. You don't know about me, you don't know the level of power I am, she said calmly. Soul. Partner, the guy is right, I feel the powers of two dragon gods that you are in front of him, he said seriously. Valeria. But how does he have the powers of dreams and the infinite office, she said surprised. Issei. It seems that your partner in battle has already discovered who I really am. I am the fourth dragon god of the apocalypse of domination. Remember that Issei had defeated the beast of the apocalypse by stealing parts of its powers. And they sealed it with the help of the leaders. Valeria and Yuma had been surprised by what they said. Alma. It's a lie, it's impossible for him to be a dragon god who would spend many years in that position. Brave, the truth is the truth, he said proudly. Issei had taken out his 4 pairs of dragon wings. The cult club. Where we see brother Hyodo. Brio. Tell me Riaz, why did you trash the new boy, he said seriously. Riaz. You don't know, my sister has been depressed, she hasn't left the room and she hasn't gone to school. Because of Issei, she said upset. Brio. Wait, you said Issei, my adoptive brother, he said surprised. Riaz. That's right, that same one. It seems that he has returned, Sirius said. Brio. I'll go talk to him, aver I can try, she said calmly. Riaz. Do it for me, since I can't stand my sister being there all the time. Although she hasn't put together any pieces. Brio. I see, I will do it for you, why I love you, he said with love. Riaz. Me too. Akeno. Ara, don't take away the fun. Hineko. That's right, you won't take him with you, she said holding onto his left arm. Riaz. You always interrupt my moment alone, she said annoyed. Brio. It's okay, let me go talk to my ex-brother, he said calmly. The rest. Good said at the same time. We are currently going with Issei. Valeria. Impossible, she said still in shock. Issei. What I'm telling you is true, dragon of dragons, you have 4 wings and just like me, he said proudly. Valeria. How has it made you strong, if I am the strongest Hacker Yuku, she said annoyed. Issei. We left the rivalry pending at another time, now I have things to do, he said seriously. And you're Yuma, the daughter of the lazy and crazy person from the Azazel experiment, what is she doing here, he said seriously. Yuma. Why do I study here, she said, a calm smile. Issei bucked that attitude and smile, looks like Rainer from my world, well he retired me, goodbye Yuma and Vali. Valeria. I'm not valid, said the girl angry with veins. Issei. Aha yes, then they say that I'm a masochist who likes to enjoy your opponent's blows, sarcastic. Valeria. How dare you, but Issei had already retired with the magic circle. She is going to pay me, she said with a withering look. The next day. Break time. Brio had waited for the moment to talk to his former adoptive brother, since he was kicked out of the house himself. As she remembered, she felt guilty for being carried away by arrogance. Even he saw Issei from afar, eating his lunch prepared by his girlfriend housewife. Issei. He was very good, he said happily. Greg. Partner, it seems that your brother is coming to look for you, he said seriously. Brio had approached where his ex-brother was. Hello, Is said nervously. Issei. What does Hayato want? He said with a cold tone. Ryo. Well, I came to talk to you, he said seriously. Issei. Well, I hope it's something important. She said seriously. Ryo and Issei had moved away from the academy a little, leaving a silent atmosphere. Ryo. Well, I wanted to tell you that I need your help. Looking at Issei. Ryo's appearance. Issei didn't look surprised. Why would I help you after what happened in the past, he said coldly. Ryo. I understand that we have done things in the past, not even a simple forgiveness will solve anything, he said with a low look. Please, I want your last favor and I will help you, making him close his hand. Issei had been shocked by the words of his former brother. He was hesitant to forgive him. Greg. Come on mate, the boy doesn't tell lies, he said calmly. He said it in his mind. Issei, I see, this is just the last time I will help him, said seriously. He had sighed and decided to speak, which Ryo raised his head. Issei. Okay, I'll help you. But don't think that a partner apology doesn't solve anything, he said coldly. Ryo. Okay, I want you to help my girlfriend's sister, he said with determination. Issei had been surprised. That red-haired girl called Yuri Gremory, he said seriously. Ryo nods. Issei. Why don't you do it, he said seriously. Ryo. I can't, being the second night. My sacred gears, I can't reach my balance breaker so soon. I'm no match against Racer Phoenix. Yuri's fiancé. Issei. How weak you are to protect your mistress and the girls around you. The same boy gets nervous since it was true. But that fried chicken. Well, I'll do, seeing his ex-brother. Ryo. Well, I'll give you the address where Yuri lives. And I'll talk to my girlfriend, he said smiling and then leaving. Issei had the address of that deed. He remembered the betrayal of his former harem. His heart still hurt. But he decided to leave the thought of him and decided to return to his living room. While in thought with Drake. Drake, at least we clean the negative feeling that the girls who betrayed and the poison affects your heart, but the feeling that we clean are rising from the ashes. This is bad. If it continues like this, it will fall again, Drake said in his thought with concern. Issei had left the academy at the end of his classes and decided to visit Yuri's apartment. After about 29 minutes, a building had arrived. Issei had entered the apartment and decided to climb a few stairs until he reached the room with his respective number that was on his piece of paper. Issei had knocked on the door 3 times, waiting for his response. When he opened the door, it was nothing more and less Yuri. Yuri, upon realizing who he was, decides to close the door quickly, leaving our protagonist surprised. Yuri. What are you doing here? Go away because I don't want to see your face again, she said, upset and sad. Issei. I know, an apology is not going to solve anything, not even a flower with chocolate. Why aren't you my girlfriend? So, I'll get to the point. Let me come in and we'll talk. Yuri. So why? So that you talk ugly to me since it happened at the academy, she said angrily. Issei. I didn't come to talk about your misfortune, but about your arranged engagement with the Phoenix heir. Making the girl open the door. Yuri. Okay, come in, she said seriously without looking at the brunette's eyes. Making Issei enter, where she saw the room very messy, she had a drop of sweat. Yuri. Don't treat my house like unexplored, she said annoyed. Issei. Well, I'm sorry, nervous. Yuri and Issei had been sitting in the living room and waiting for her response. Yuri spoke first. Tell me what the current Seikryute-sama is doing here, she said without emotion. Issei. I think I overdid it with my words, she said in her thought. Greg. Stupid, said sarcasm. Issei. Shut up and let me do things right. Well, Yuri, I'm willing to help you break your engagement, he said seriously. Yuri got the sparkle back in her eye. It's really going to help me, she said with hope. Issei sighed and nodded. The girl started to shed some tears. The brunette had gotten worried and decided to calm her down. After a few minutes, I spoke first. Yuri. Thank you for accepting my help, she said happily. Issei. It's okay. It's my fault that I told you at the academy. Look. It's just that I'm not like that. I've been through many worse things that you don't know. I barely know you. Yuri took Issei's cheek and kissed him on the lips. That he was surprised. It lasted a few minutes and then she separated. Issei. What was that, she said very blushing. Yuri. It's my first kiss. Since I saw you, I thought you were very cute, but then I realized that your family despises you. I didn't totally agree with what they did to you, he said seriously. Issei. Wow, good for when it's the wedding, he said seriously. Yuri. Tonight, he said sadly. Come on, don't be sad, I'm not weak, while she hugged Yuri. Yuri. He is the very strong one. I don't think you will win. Looking at our protagonist Sajimiel. Issei. Don't you believe who he's talking to? I'm the strongest Seikryute of all time. Determination. Yuri. I know that, I'll wait for you to rescue me, he said blushing. From what I see, it's not bad at all. Looking at the brunette up and down. Issei. Well, see you tomorrow, don't worry, I know how to get there while smiling. Yuri. Good, he said happily as he watched the brunette leave. Yes, I will finally get out of this commitment fixed, he said happily. Well, with our protagonists. Greg. Are you sure, partner? It's not that I care, he said seriously. Issei. I'm sure, when I got to know a little more about her. She's a mature and confident girl. Not like Ria's is a spoiled girl with parents who cheated on me, he said seriously. Greg. I see, but what will you do if he breaks off the engagement and you get engaged? But I don't think you like your girlfriend when you hear the news, he said nervously. Issei swallowed her saliva a little nervously. I think I'll speak first. 30 minutes later. We see the room somewhat disordered. Why Ingvild had thrown several energy sphere at Issei that had a murderous aura. Issei. Please, calm down, while he covered her arm that was thrown by various objects. Ingvild. Maybe you will leave me alone and go with others, he said sadly, and some tears were starting to come out. Issei. I don't want to leave you alone, because I love you. But dragons can have more than a couple, he said sighing. Ingvild. Seriously, he's not going to leave me, I don't mind sharing it, he said with a pout. Issei caressed the head of our white-haired girl who was embarrassed. Issei. Very good, on this night I must prepare, he said with determination. Fried chicken will suffer the wrath of a dragon, he said with an evil smile. Chapter 11 Break Engagement Part 2. After Issei decided to help break up his arranged engagements with Yuri Gremory, he decides to leave, but before saying goodbye with a kiss on the lips. A few hours later. Issei was outside her house where she lived together with Ingvild and Dreg. Dreg. This is really strange, isn't it, he said in a calm tone. Issei. Yes, we went to another side of the world where things change, but I don't regret it, still calm. Dreg. Well, but I have a bad feeling, a heartbeat felt from the dragon of domination. Issei. What is it, he said with curiosity. Dreg. Remember that I lost my virginity with the girl that passed me at the bar, he said still nervous. Issei. If you already told me, Tiamat and Scarlet will surely be looking for you to kill you, he said in a mocking tone. Dreg. Don't say that, partner, he said still nervous. Watching the clock reach 12 midnight without blinking. Dreg. Well mate, it's time to act, he said excitedly. Issei. Haha, yes friend, I want to see the face of fear of Yakitori showing an evil smile. Dreg. If you're scary, friends, he said still nervous. Issei. Sorry Dreg, it's just that I get excited about suffering my opponent, he said calmly. Dreg. It seems that the influence of the Great Red has already hit you, still nervous. Issei. Shut up, I already got the message, looking at a magic circle that had a Gremory symbol. Note. It's like sending a stealth message military style. Dreg. Let's go then. Well, Issei opened the dimensional gap and then disappeared, leaving his house. In the dimensional gap, Issei decides to change his human form into a dragon with red and black scales. Let's go with the wedding. Yuri was in front of the altar. Waiting for his plan to work for him. And his prince to come to his rescue. XD. Demon Priest, Lord Racer, accept Yuri as his wife, seeing Racer with arrogance. Racer? He accepted, smiling evilly. Demon Priest, Miss Yuri, accept Racer as he handcuffed her, seeing the redeed with a serene look, hiding her anger from the blonde phoenix. But he was interrupted by the door that was smashed to pieces. Forming a mist. I'm getting in the way of this wedding, said a deep voice. When the smoke had dispersed, everyone was surprised to see a dragon with a red scale that was half the size, same height as the Tannen dragon. Yuri. Issei said with joy. Everyone had been surprised to hear their names. Who was among the demons? There were Issei's parents and her 3 brothers, as well as the Gremory and Citri entourage, who were also surprised. Boru. Maybe it's Issei, he said in shock. Nikki. But, what happened to him, she said, still surprised. Ryo saw him with a smile of joy when he saw his brother, but also sadness. The 2 sisters saw him surprised and shocked by the enormous power that rebukes Issei. While in the other seat. Lord Phoenix. What is a dragon doing here, he said in shock. Lord Gremory. I don't know yet, but he interrupted the wedding with his eyes open. Racer. What is a dirty dragon doing interrupting my wedding, he said, very angry. Issei, be more careful with your words, Phoenix. I came here take Yuri Gremory's hand, he said with an imposing voice. Racer. Haha, a dirty dragon doesn't deserve to be here, damn well he activated his firepower. But he was interrupted by the Siskin. Searches. Tell me, who are you, Mr. Dragon, he said seriously. Issei. You've known me for a long time, staring at the red-haired Siskin. Don't worry. You too, what do you want first, Lord Dragon, said the redeed looking at Issei. Issei. You already know what I want, he said seriously. Searches. Very good, and your Racer, Phoenix, seeing that he had a discomfort. Racer. If you win I will break the engagement directly with Yuri, seeing the dragon who had an indifferent look. If you lose, you will be my servant for all eternity, did you hear it, trash dragon, he said with arrogance. Issei. He accepted the challenge, fried chicken, he said with a defiant smile. So that you learn to shut your mouth, mortal. He said with indifference. Racer had gotten angry at those words, but he was still interrupted by Mass Lucifer. Searches. Very well, the bet of both decided, let's end to the battlefield. Thus both of them were teleported to the field where Issei would first remember the battle of him against Yakitori. While other clans saw it from a hologram. Yuri the first hope he wins, my dear Issei said with a smile and somewhat worried for the dragon of him. In the battle. Issei still the red dragon form of him roared and then transformed into his human form, but wearing the Seikryuute armor. Dragon shot. A red sphere that would quickly launch Racer with difficulty. Racer, damn, this guy won't be easy to defeat, I'll go with all my power. As his wings grew and his aura increased. Racer. I will show you how far a fire phoenix can go, he said an arrogant smile. While he threw 10 spheres of flames at Issei who was unfazed by the attack. And was easily dodged. Example of Goku's image. While the spectators were surprised by the ease of dodging fire attacks as if it were a simple stone. He also listened to sound that was well known to what the Longinus knows. Boost 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 boost. The red light had moved quickly with a single blink, it had hit Racer from the fist straight to the chest, where the heart is. Racer spit out an amount of blood. At Issei's blow, he felt like his heart was crushed. Issei. Did you know the weak points of the phoenix when it has a regeneration that I do not consider immortal? Your own heart is the core of regeneration when you have a serious wound, and that makes you certain death if it was ripped out or slashed. While everyone was listening to him, he was shocked by the words of the Seikryuute of weaknesses. Yuri had been calm, but had to stay without doing anything at the request of her older brother, seeing how her beloved has secured victory. While with Issei. Racer fell to the ground and had to grab his chest where he had hit his heart. Huich, damn, I don't know what damn you are. He said very angry. But I won't let you beat me, letting himself be carried away by his pride and his anger. Issei and Racer had bumped their fists at the same time, blinding everyone to the spectators as well as Yuri. After a few seconds, they opened their eyes to a great surprise as Racer held his face and smoke came out. Racer. My face, buck my face, he said with pain. Issei. The fist of the flames of hell, it is my strongest ability, when I touch it, it can burn much more than the fire of the phoenix that only burns things. He said with a defiant smile. Tell me, are you giving up or do you want me to burn your ugly face until you look like Uncle Asshole, he said with mockery. Note is the GTA San Andreas reference in case you understand me. Racer. I give up, he said with some tears of pain while he held her hand with the pain in his breasts. Searches. Enough, he said with authority. The battle is over, Issei the Seikryuute is the winner, the engagement is undone, he said with a smile. Issei and Racer went back to the place while the fried chicken was treated by his entourage. Issei still maintained a look that scared the clans, but except for one person who came to Issei hugging. Issei knew it was Yuri, he agreed to return the hug. Yuri. Thank you, he said with tears of happiness. Well, he had his face on Issei's chest. The girl Yuri Gremory who was in love with her since childhood, how they treated him, inside she wanted to help, but she was also afraid that her parents would say otherwise. So finally the dream of finding someone with a person of high value is in front of her. Issei. Don't worry, you're free now, and a head stroking her commercy hair. Searches. Issei Haidu, now that you freed my sister, now you're engaged, he said with a smile. Issei smiled back, the first ones took care of him while making a magic circle, taking his new fiancé with him. In his new house with whom she lived with Ingvald. While with Drag. Who was checking off a harem list of his mate. Issei's harem. Ingvald. Yuri. There is more of harem list. Drag. Hahaha, you fill me with pride, mate, said the dragon in a calm tone. While changing the other page of the sheet of him who had the title. Brag's harem. Lucy Hertfilia. Brag already has the first steps to get his own harem, obviously thanks for the influence of our protagonist to be the king of the harem. And Drag himself wants to be the king of the commercy harem. While Issei along with his new fiancé had introduced his current girlfriend who was delighted to meet his new member for the harem. While a few weeks after he broke off the engagement and had moved into Issei's house, he stole her heart. Issei, who has become a small change in his body and his brown hair, letting it grow and changing his way of dressing as he is a dragon god, should have a scar on his left eyes from various struggles that happened in his new life. This is what it looks like. The two girls became best friends and sisters, but they were also blushing, and both couldn't resist their urge to take them to bed. They made without respect, marking the two women they love. Nodi still goes to the academy. While at the occult club. Who was gathered are the Gremory clan and the Haidu brothers. Why did you bring us here, said the bearer of Red Empress. Riaz. I needed to look for Haidu, Issei said the Redeed with an authoritarian tone. Ryo. Why do you want to look for my brother, ex-brother, said the dark brown man somewhat confused. I'm. That's right, it's no big deal to look for Securitate desperately, she said, something annoyed. Yuli. For what reason, said the light brown-haired girl in a serious tone. Riaz sighing, the exorcist will come to see us releasing the soup. Ryo. Why would I come to demon territory, he said, a serious tone. Riaz. For something that was stolen in the Vatican, and she wants to request access to the city for 40 days, in case they manage to find her, she said, a serious tone. The twins. I see, why bring the Securites, I'm said. Riaz. Why can you help us, she said in a serene tone. Bekeno. What do you think could help us, even though what happened during childhood, looking at his childhood friend. Riaz. I know, and I want to fix the matter, to apologize to my brother-in-law, just like Ryo-kun does too, since he wants it to be like a family again, she said, something sad and determined. While in the city of Tokyo, the capital of Japan, we see two women who found something common in one of the restaurants. The girl with brown and orange hair who was eating while the other had a hood who was completely calm. Well, a few minutes later she had just finishing her lunches. Irina. Thank you for inviting us to eat, she said, she with the chestnut. Zenobia. Thank you, said the hooded voice sharply. No problem, you are simply my companions who assigned me to help you on the mission, said the girl with a funny tone. Irina, by the way, we haven't properly presented yet, said the girl with the ponytail. My name is Shidu Irina, and my companion next to me is Zenobia Quarta. Well, she looked at the hooded girl who continued eating calmly without responding. Haha, that's how she is, Irina said, very nervous. Nice to meet you, exorcist sent from the Vatican, my name is Sharon. I am a special agent dedicated to searching for dangerous people, said a beautiful blonde. As she looked at both exorcists, who had a calm expression. My mission is to find the Securitate and kill him who had ordered me to Lord Risevim, in her thoughts with a serious tone. Chapter 12, A Difference. After Issei has rescued Yuri Gremory and together living at home with Ingvild Leviathan, doing without respect, we see in a room where our protagonist and two women on each forearm. Our brunette who was slowly waking up, well, he saw his two girlfriends and his fiancée with a smile. Issei, they look beautiful when they sleep, showing a smile. Well, he took out the girl's arms like a ninja, thanks to the Yakai faction's certain skills and technique that had trained him. Issei had gone down to go to the kitchen to prepare her breakfast. It is a habit that is already normal for the two girls and a habit in the house. In the kitchen. Drake. Good morning, partner, he said in her mind. Issei. Good morning, Drake, by the way, he was asleep in his room. Drake. I was, but then I have to check something inside the boosted gears to talk to Elsa and the ancient bearers, said the dragon calmly. Issei. What did they tell you? She said curiously. Drake, search for new skills to attack our opponent and enemy, Drake said, changing his tone seriously. Issei. That's what it's about, looking at her left arm with an emerald gem. Drake fully fused the dragon Diabolos with the balance breakers, said Drake with a lens and some notebooks. Issei. Wow, is it possible, he said, somewhat amazed. Drake. Of course, a possible fusion between two more powerful armors in one is possible, Drake said with a smile. Issei. Okay, but how long will this take? Looking at her breakfast already ready. Drake. Maybe I'm your employee, he said, something annoyed. Issei. No, but I'll still help you with this idea, Issei said calmly. Drake. Very good, first I have to do something by cutting communication. Issei. So sorry, Drake said, a drop of sweat. His fiancée had already come down, changing Yuri, who was wearing his Kuo Academy uniform, and Ingvild is the housewife. Obviously she also trains to protect herself and spend time with her partner. Issei. Good morning, Yuri and Ingvild, she said, the brunette with a happy smile. Yuri. Good morning, darling, she said, the Redeed, and then gave him a kiss on her lips. Ingvild. Good morning, same, giving to Issei. Note. I will not be able to, my love, my princess or my loves, because I will feel somewhat uncomfortable and I don't like it, but it's normal for you, so let's continue with the stories. Issei. Well, today will be an exhausting day, isn't it true, looking at her fiancé. Yuri. That's right, but there is something I wanted to ask, looking at the two. Both. Tell me, said with a smile and curiosity. Yuri. Why don't you go to the academy, she said, confused. Ingvild. Why, I don't like going to school and it's boring, she said with a pout. Issei. I will continue studying, but I will not go to school today due to business, he said in a calm tone. Yuri. I might know which one it is, she said in a serious tone, leaving Issei nervous. Issei. I'm a more influential international investor, in case you haven't heard, he said in a calm tone. Obviously I was a gangster, but also an investor, she said in his thoughts. Yuri. Well, it will be fine looking at her fiancé. Issei. That's right, he said with a smile. So the day continued. Yuri going to school and Ingvild would go shopping and Issei at his business. While at the Kuo Academy. Specifically in the occult club. Clan Gremory and Clan Citri were gathered with the presence of the Haidu brothers. Rias. Why do you bring them here in the city of Kuo, exorcist trio, said the Ritid calmly. Especially you, Sharon, right, said the black-haired woman with her usual lens. While the blonde-haired nun named Sharon. Sharon. That's right, Gremory, said the blonde calmly. While Irina was going to speak but was avoided by the blue girl. Zenobia. Irina, be quiet, you look pretty like that, said the blue-haired girl with green hair. Irina pouting. Well, with Sharon. As you told them, we need to be in the city of Kuo to recover the Excalibur swords that were stolen from the Vatican. According to the informant, those responsible are the fallen angels. Rebel who is not under Azazel's orders, said the blonde-haired woman calmly and seriousness. Rias. I see. While his information progressed. While the blonde-haired man had a lost look if it were not because he was looking at the Excalibur that the three exorcists were carrying. Rias. Well, it won't be a problem to allow her to work in my territory, but if you or one of them hurts my servant or Sonas, you will know what you're getting into, said Rias, changing with a threatening look. Sharon. No problems, it was a pleasure talking to you, while lifting the two exorcists doing the same. Zenobia and Irina. Thank you for the tea, both said gratefully. Akeno. Ara, said the black-haired woman with a smile. Sharon passed by where Asia was, who had a nervous expression. Well, she stopped when she saw her. Sharon. You are Asia Argento, who was once a maiden, staring at the little blonde nun. Zenobia and Irina had been looking closely at the silver blonde. Sharon. You seem to have a minimum of belief in our Lord within your soul, looking at the blonde's green eyes. Asia. Yes, I will continue believing in him, she said, something nervous. Irina. It's not something impossible, she said, something surprised. Sharon. When a believer dies, in some cases, he reincarnates. How the hell his beliefs are not going to disappear when it was his human life, she said with a calm smile. Irina and Zenobia. I understand, she said, something surprised. Sharon. I just hope you don't forget the teachings they taught us. Well, I was already walking towards the door and accompanied by the two exorcists. Note. A confrontation between Kiba and the exorcists would not occur here. While the occult club had fallen into an awkward silence. Akeno. Rias looking at his king. Rias. We will not get involved in other people's affairs, we will only focus on what we are doing, said the Ritid in a calm tone. And Uriah, the most important thing is that they don't get into trouble, looking at his beloved pawn. Uriah. Don't worry, Rias, said the brown-haired man with a smile. Balsona stood in the room with a serious look. Julian's I also don't want them to get involved in the affairs of the angels, and it could harm a new war, said the king seriously and a little calmly. I'm and Yuli. There is. Well, with the three exorcists. Irina. Moo, Zenobia, why did you ask me to shut up without giving an opinion, she said, somewhat annoyed. Zenobia was going to speak but was interrupted by Sharon. Sharon. It's better than telling him directly our negotiation to stay here until we look for at least a clue. The swords of Excalibur, said the blonde-haired girl without looking at the two girls. Zenobia. Sharon is right, but the last thing we are going to eat if we don't have money is because of the Paklamata angel, she said without expression. Irina. Hey. Sharon. Stop fighting, she said. She was already resigned to playing a rookie duet. Sharon. I have enough money for something I need to eat. Irina. No. She said in forewind. Issei, who was in the abandoned temple and far from the city. She was meditating and a red aura surrounded her entire body. Issei. This is peace and mind control, she said in a whisper. Greg, who was next to him in his chibi form, looked at him calmly and seriously. With the training. Greg. It seems that the training I put on him is working at the moment, he said in his thoughts. Issei had woken up from a long meditation, letting the aura disappear. Issei. This is tired, said the brunette calmly, stretching his body and his arms. Greg. It is necessary, partner, since you did not go to the academy, today you will have training, he said calmly. Issei. I know that, he said with a sigh. Greg. Tell me, what will the carrier of the vanishing dragon do, he said seriously. Issei. I don't know, that will depend on the rivalry that still continues to have, he said tiredly. Greg. I see, he said with a sigh. Issei. After all, she is Vali, he said with mockery. But he was interrupted by the voice he knew well. Valerie, my name is Valerie, not Vali, he said angrily. Issei. What a surprise, Valerie, maybe the rivalry came, he said seriously and calmly. Valerie. Not today, I just came to meet you, Sekurute, he said with an evil smile. Issei. You know that an enemy does not formally introduce himself to your enemy, right, looking at Valerie. Valerie. He's right, the truth is, today I don't want to fight with you, until you get there you know who God Dragon Proclamado is, he said sarcastically. Issei looked at him seriously and increased his dragon aura, making Valerie kneel. Valerie. What is this power? This power is from Office, but I don't know the other one, she said, something surprised. Issei. It seems that you have not understood well, bringing his rival dangerously close. Valerie. Understand what he said, the white-haired girl with difficulty breathing. Issei. I don't care if you're my rival or not, I can kill you in a second and then grab your neck by force and lift it up with his hand. Valerie was trying to get out of his grip on Issei's hand while he was seen by Drake, who looked at him with disinterest. Issei. But I won't, I'll just hope that you come back strong and we fight like a true celestial dragon, he said calmly. Releasing the grip, letting me breathe. Issei. If I kill you, the factions will go after me, looking at his rival. I have things to do, so we say goodbye. Hacker Yuiku. While activating the red magic circle next to Drake, he was teleported. Valerie. What strength you have, he said, the white-haired girl with a sigh. But it's not bad at all. He licked his lips and touched his both hands on the cheek. Chapter 13. Who are you? Issei. After his meeting with your rival and the fight he will have soon. He had arrived where his fiancée was at his house after a long activities. Yuri. How did it go, he said calmly. Issei. Very well, I guess, said the brunette, eating normally. Ingvald. He wants to go to the fun park with Yuri, he said with a smile. Issei. Of course, why not, it will be after class, returning his smile. Ingvald and Yuri. How nice, both said excitedly. After breakfast, they would go to the academy and the amusement park. I will go ahead with normal classes and the appointment. Already at night. After returning to her house, Yuri Ingvald would go to sleep very tired. While Issei knew the situation that will happen later. Greg. Partner, the exorcist is already here in Kuo, he said seriously. Issei nodding, as the law says, completely destroy your enemy and I will do that, he said seriously. I will tear my purgatory flames to shreds until there is nothing left, she said with a smile. Greg. I knew it, you are already changing because of your attitude that you have done to our rival, he said with concern. Issei. Don't worry, friend, it's just an act, but to fight with my rival if he is serious, he said with a defiant smile. Greg. You're right, he said calmly. Issei. But there is something strange that might feel threatened, she said, changing seriously. Greg. Tell me what you're bothering about, he said with curiosity. Issei. I don't know how to say, I feel the danger, he said seriously. Greg. What Great Red taught you, he said seriously. Issei. That's right, I need to know who the person is who wants to see me dead watching the night sky. The next day. At Kuo Academy. We see our protagonist walking next to Yuri, who was talking normally. What he didn't realize was that behind the street, a blonde woman who was wearing a detective's uniform was staring at Issei. Anna. I think the characteristics that the witness report gave us, it must be him, she said seriously. Long brown hair but put a ponytail behind. An emerald eye that they say looked like a reptile. And adolescence. Anna. This is strange, that a young man works for the mafia, but I have to find out more about this boy, and his uniform must be students of the Kuo Academy. To then leave that alley, leaving it empty. Well, with Issei. After normal classes. He was in the cafeteria, who asked for a menu of his food and would go to sit at an empty table. But a girl also passed by this table, they both looked at each other. I saw it first, said a female voice. Issei. I saw it first, he said calmly. They both said at the same time. Issei. Well, let's not argue and share the table, he said with a sigh. I agree, he said calmly. So they both proceeded to sit down. Issei. By the way, you're new, I've never seen you here, looking with curiosity. That's right, my name is Itsuki Nakano, he said with a smile. Issei. Nice to meet you, Itsuki-san, my name is Issei Haidu, he said calmly. When Issei looks at Itsuki's plate, her cheeks are red. Issei. There is nothing wrong with you eating so much, I also do the same, but in privacy, he said with a smile. Making Itsuki blush, but his expression changed with joy. Itsuki. Thank you and enjoy. This is how they spent the break normally. Yuri was in the occult club because they requested him in Presentia. Thus passing the original story, let's go with the church trio. In the forest field. Sharon. Damn, they escaped us, said the blonde with annoyance. Zenobia. What will we do, this forest is huge, not only Udo Kiba is behind the swords, he said tiredly. Irina. How about we separate, so we will find the freed Selzen, said the girl seriously. Zenobia. Are you sure, we don't know if Kakabiel is there, she said with concern for her friend and partner. Sharon. You're right, Zenobia, but in this situation we have to do it, otherwise it will take a whole night, she said with a sigh. Zenobia. Well, let's separate, she said seriously. Irina. There is, she said with determination. Sharon. Zenobia, for the world don't take your last weapon up your sleeve if the situation warrants, she said seriously and calmly. Zenobia. Don't worry, I won't, giving a smile. Thus they both separated. Leaving Sharon alone while she had an evil smile. While a silver magic circle appeared on the ground. Sharon. Yes, Risevim, Sama said with a bow. Risevim. I need report, she said with seriousness and an evil smile. Sharon gave him all the information about the situation. Risevim. Wow, that crow, her plan is not going to work, she said calmly. Sharon. What do you mean, sir, she said with doubt. Risevim, the Securite is here in Kuo City. Lately the factions are tense over the issue of the two celestial dragons, he said calmly. Sharon. You mean that, she said calmly. Risevim. The ancient bearers of the two celestial dragons were responsible for the deaths of innocent people when humans were in the Second World War, and Nagasaki and Fukushima to another place for their battle to the death, he said calmly. Sharon was surprised. Sharon. I see, but I have the goal of killing the Securite as you ordered, she said, the blonde with confusion. Risevim. Of course the plan will continue, but a small change. Sharon. What are his orders, sir, she said reverently. Risevim. We want the Securite and Hakuryuku to face each other. That, she said with an evil smile. Sharon. But it's risky and the other factions would hate to avoid it, said the blonde in shock. Risevim. That's exactly what I want. Your mission to assassinate with the red is still on until now, to then activate the magic circle. Risevim. Wait until you kill Haidu, Issei said the Demon King with an evil laugh. Leaving Sharon alone again. Sharon. I don't know what exactly I'm doing, why kill Haidu, Issei looking at his two hands. Between the thoughts he has doubts whether to kill the Securite or that things continue normally. Sharon. I'll think later, I have to go look for that bastard, she said seriously. Leaving the place. Silent. While in another place. In the office where the detective was. She was a very beautiful blonde with an elegant outfit with a cup of coffee. Anna. Phew, this is nice, she said with a sigh. While she was reviewing the plans of Kuo City on the blackboard with names of suspect. Haidu Issei. 17 years old. Student. Academia Mio. Unknown location. Havana. It has happened during the Smurf massacre and Red Emperor had been dissolved, but the rumors continue to work in the shadows. The most difficult thing is who is the leader and thus dismantle his organization, but it makes it so complicated to me that this guy has a power of influence in North America, Europe and China and Russia. But I have a clue, but I have to check before interrogating him and know the location. My plan is infiltrate the academy. You might wonder, where is the blonde teenager that she witnessed in that massacre? She survived and a few others, she is also a student at Kuo Academy. The strangest thing was they didn't meet on the way, but anyway. An occult club. Yuri, Riaz and Akeno were in the room discussing a situation. Searches. What they informed me, that Kakabiel is in the city, could be dangerous for you, she said seriously. Riaz. I know that, Wani-sama. Yuri. You are calm and I am nervous, Iskin said the Retid sarcastically. Searches was in a depressed position. Searches. The younger brothers don't respect me, he said with a depressed aura. Riaz. Well, if something happens we will let you know immediately, she said with joy. Searches. Okay, take care of yourselves, he said calmly. Thus disappearing the magic circle on the table. Akeno served tea to the two girls. Yuri. Riaz Tan, how is your entourage progressing, he said calmly. Riaz. Well, very good, Ryo has been controlling his forbidden Excalibur and he has surprised us with some improvements. Kaneko has learned to control Jinjutsu from him and what Nekomata do. Udo Kiba has improved his speed. Asper still has problems socially and mentally, he said with a sigh. Yuri. I see. Akeno. Now I can use my fallen angel side, thank you Ryo, the consolation with my father has helped me, she said with joy. Yuri. I'm glad you're trying, but you've been interrupted by a front door. Please help me heal my friend, she said tiredly and worried. Riaz and Akeno. Zenobia. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.